Hi, Jeff Burke here with Broadband Forum, and I am here in Warsaw, Poland for our Q1 meeting. And we are meeting with most of our work area directors to walk through basically what activities they're involved with today and what we can expect throughout the rest of 2019. And sitting with me here right now is David Allan. David is the leader of the Wireless-Wireline Convergence work area here at Broadband Forum. I wanted to welcome you, Dave.
Oh, thanks, Jeff.
I know that this has really been an exciting period for you, primarily because in the last few months, we actually have taken a lot of work effort that you were involved with for a long time leading up through 2018 and basically handed off to 3GPP, the specifications really for wireless wireline convergence in 5G networks going forward. Maybe you can give us a little bit of a heads up as to what actually happened and where that's going right now.
Okay. So we had been studying the topic in cooperation with 3GPP since about 2016, since a large group of carriers approached us to take on this work as part of the overall 5G effort. And what we've done at this point is we have figured out the changes that are needed to adapt wireline networks, home networking, that whole ball of wax, Internet of Things, you name it, and proceed to map that traffic onto the 5G core. Now that we've identified all of the changes to the 5G architecture that are required, we're now just refining the details in cooperation with 3GPP, how that will translate into the actual control plane specifics, such that we can sort of jointly produce a set of specifications that will allow full convergence to actually happen. So there's a component that 3GPP is doing. There is a component that we're doing in terms of the infrastructure in the network. There's a components that we're doing in terms of what changes will be involved to the home networking. And this expands across a gamut of things: fixed wireless access, hybrid access, fixed access. So at this point, you know, as we're just sort of lining up our ducks to dot the I's and cross the T's on this work, it continues to be a really sort of exciting time.
Well, certainly I know the world has been very anxiously awaiting this moment to see how, where and when, you know, we really will be enabling some of these 5G networks to not only come to fruition, but complement what's out there in networks already. Maybe I'll just step back for 1 second and ask you if you could just define in your own words what wireless wireline convergence work area is here at Broadband Forum.
Okay. Well, it's really sort of across a whole spectrum of things. I mean, normally when you think of mobile networks, you simply think of the phone that is proceeding to move around and is mobile. But reality is there's quite a large infrastructure behind that: service environment, subscription management, OSS interfaces, etc. And what we're really talking about is, and this typically has been duplicated in carrier networks. You've had the wireline side, and the wireless side, and they've been sort of two solitudes. What we're really enabling is the integration of those more or less at all levels. Which ultimately would be huge from the point of view of carriers in terms of producing offers that significantly enhance the stickiness of holding on to their subscribers, because they will be able to manage all aspects of their telecommunication services as a holistic thing. Apply common policies, so the way I get treated is the same everywhere I am, whether I'm at home, I'm on the road, I'm in another country, you name it. So, I mean, that's kind of the nirvana that we're working towards. And the key thing for us is to bring not only just the wireline access into this, it's to bring the home networking support for the mobile terminal within the home, and try and make this consistent and common across the board.
So the work with 3GPP really is just part of the overall vision of what actually wireless wireline convergence is all about then?
I would say that's the case, yeah. Very much so.
Well, why don't we fast forward then to what's been going on here at this meeting, some of the things that have been exciting leading up to and at this meeting, and then we'll start with that, and then we'll talk about what's going on afterwards.
Right. Well, as I said, we're in the middle of starting to populate what will be the normative specifications that we're looking to complete by the end of the year. We're also starting to examine other aspects with respect to expanding carrier deployment options, ensuring we have as many possible migration paths as possible to the 5G nirvana. Because as we know from long experience, no two carriers have the same starting point going forward. So we want to make sure they all have a path forward. CUPS was a very big topic at this meeting because part of that relates to how 5G and SDN interrelate in terms of having those options to take advantage of virtualization and the other technology trends going on in the industry. So it is really, we're populating the specifications and, like I said, finding as many paths from as many starting points as possible to make all this happen.
Okay, well, great. Well, here we are in the early part of the year now, and we're heading towards really some completion of the 3GPP work, I believe, close to the end of the year, and then really moving into really some trial periods after that. Maybe you can walk us through what goes on for the rest of the year here in 2019.
Okay, so yeah, we will be completing the normative phase of the work by the end of the year. And out of that, we would expect to have CPE specifications, specifications for management of the home. Of course, we're looking to extend TR69 and USP for 5G, and that's looking pretty straightforward. We're doing that in conjunction with the other experts over in broadband user services. We'll be specifying the access equipment, and that will be leveraging the 5G enhancements that 3GPP is working on. That we would see done by the end of the year, which would mean we would expect to see trials 2021, and we would be probably on track to be part of wide-scale 5G deployment in 2022.
Well, that's amazing to hear, because that really is what Broadband Forum is all about, is getting these, as you said before, these ducks in a row and I's and T's crossed, I's dotted and T's crossed, right? To basically be ready for mass global deployment with this. And, I know that we all know there's a lot of 5G trials going on, but nothing, they're technology trials more so than actually the foundations for mass deployment, correct?
True. Well, as it's always been, the Broadband Forum makes broadband work, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, exciting times, exciting work going on. Really appreciate your efforts and the efforts of your work area and team and working with the other groups at Broadband Forum over here. Thank you for your work. And this is Jeff Burke signing off from Warsaw, Poland at our Q1 meeting.